listening to Drake's album right now across the country. That's that's crazy. These are ladies.
This will be available on the We Use Her Energy to inaugurate something that's so powerful. This Legend series is epic. Um, Ali, Sabi, X, B.I.G. Cause we from Brooklyn, baby. You understand? So, there's many more to come. Trust me. You feel me? We're gonna roll them out, but we gotta get the feminine energy in there. We gotta balance things out. We got some surprises coming on the way. It's just a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? What a time to be alive. And tonight we're also going to talk about the untimely demise of our brother Chuck Berry. You know what I'm saying? What a way to treat a king. I had no idea. Shit. Did not know that brother was alive. You feel me? Not in a million years that I still think that the king of rock and roll was still with us. We ain't seen no ceremony dedications, no concerts, no special.
It don't make no sense.
Mentions, no honorary mentions.
And how Obama ain't say nothing about it.
Obama ain't bring brother out to the Kennedy Center. You feel me? None of that. Like, awards, he ain't opened up for the African American Museum. None of that shit. Nah. The father of rock and roll.
The father.
How does that play into this paradigm of Americanism that we're talking about?
That we live in this system, this Americana system, where whenever you peel back the layers, it's beginning to seem that you always find something that's similar in the same place. And the more we peel back these veils, the more we pull back these curtains, we can begin to find ourselves all the time at the beginning, exactly, of the movie. You dig what I'm saying? So we just talked about Henrietta Lacks.
Not as the janitor either.
Exactly, and not as the janitor either.
But in the basement.
But in the basement.
As they showed you in Hidden Figures.
And they called them computers. They referred to these black women, mothers of civilizations, the ones who bring forth, who give
mamas.
Mama.
You know what I'm saying? The lacks of the world who ain't lacking.
Exactly. So they had these women in the basement, calling them, computers.
I love the people.
So
love the people.
Chuck Berry, it seems, is the father, the patah, the progenitor, the pioneer,
the birther,
the architect, the one who wrote the code,
provided the seed,
that birthed the soundtrack that all of America identified as Americanism's soundtrack. You feel me? Like that's their soundtrack. The same people that say "Make America Great Again," well, their soundtrack was birthed by a black man. How about that? Catch me outside.
Wake up.
So there would be no Bruce Springsteen.
None.
There would be no Elvis Presley.
None.
There would be no Aerosmith.
None.
There would be no AC/DC.
At all.
No.
There would be no Kiss.
None.
Guns N' Roses.
At all.
Metallica.
Peace out.
Aerosmith.
None of that.
None of that.
No death metal. No black metal.
Grunge metal.
Nope.
Yeah, grunge metal.
Nope.
No grunt
No
metal.
Kurt Cobains.
None of that.
No Justin Bieber.
None of that.
So
None of
Father.
that. They daddy. They papa. They big papa. It's black. It's a melanated man named Chuck Berry.
Chuck.
And he ain't got no sample riffs on nobody's album.
None. That's cold. He's
an idol that became a rival.
Wow, that's cold.
He's an idol they put in the sunken place.
The sunken place. This is an idol.
Nah.
You understand?
He's an idol that they had to turn into a rival in order for them to create alternative facts.
Yeah. He had to be
okay.
Yeah.
He had to be removed.
Yeah.
Yo, we got to take you off the scene and give you a dishonorable mention by not mentioning you and giving your title to another dude in blue suede shoes named Elvis and try to build our legacy and our history from that point.
On.
You understand?
Yeah.
When all of our ancestors, all of our elders, or what have you,
The love
was
is
shooting at
telling the
that back
truth,
then.
people. The love
You
is
feel me?
telling the truth.
They were shooting at it back
The love
then.
is only one way in you.
But our memory
That's
is so
really true.
short.
And that's the heartbeat in you.
There's not a continuity of these
What-
stories. We don't have all
The love
tradition as
unconditionally,
people.
which is
You know what I'm
the
saying?
feeling
We just got chatty
that
patties.
is in you.
Yeah.
And
2
niggas in chat
seconds per
rooms, so-
minute.
In barbershops.
In barbershops.
It's nothing but
So-
truth to you.
Vision of the barbershop.
So you
So the
can't do
information
nothing but
is
be
not
true to your
Passed
heart.
down to a degree where it's like, look. Yes, indeed. Automatic's wife made transition as well the other day. May she rest in peace as well. You know, for those that are not familiar with our brother Automatics, he was once considered the most dangerous lawyer in America before Johnny Cochran. You know what I'm saying? By proxy got that title. Automatics was kicking up dust. You know, this is a brother that speaks very in depth about legalese, and he speaks about the legal system, or the legalese language, which the European employs as a military science. So you want to check out Automatics and what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? His information is thoroughly intact. He's well rooted, and his indigenous roots are from the South. So he has a perspective from South Carolina where there's things that he's seen, and the history that was passed on to him was intact. The oral history that he received from his people was intact. So he know who these dragons are. He never forgot. And then he had to come up here and do war with them. So he could tell you about Trump. He could tell you about Giuliani. He could tell you about all of these people he had to do battle with when they was trying to put him and us in a sunken place back then with a Tawana Brawley, Yusuf Hawkins, and they ushered in the Al Sharptons of the world, and he tried to set him down because they already had them, the feds had them in their back pocket. Okay? And while he was at war with all of these battles that he was going up against, it was his wife who was there, standing right there with him. Facts. Keep in mind, he had a Wednesday free, doors open, at his weekly lecture seminar
at the UAM.
gathering at the UAM, and his wife was the one who facilitated that
Beautiful
event.
spirit.
Beautiful spirit. I'm sending condolences to the whole family. You know what I mean? And honest to
I say,
her
yo,
spirit.
you did transition peacefully, and again, join the Grand Council of Elders that are intact. You know what I'm saying? That we saw them form last year, and we know that there's millions, if not trillions, of others that have welcomed them with open arms. You know what I'm saying? So may she find comfort, you know, on her next journey to prepare, you know, our eventual bed that we all have to lay in, that eternal sleep. You know what I'm
Eternal
saying?
sleep,
Being
buddy.
woke in the next life. So bless her heart. You know what I'm saying? And we send strength and energy, love and light to her family and all of her friends and constituents. You feel me? And as well as our brother Chuck Berry and his family. You know, I just really want us to look at this. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about iconic people in our timeline and our history who, for whatever reason, we've just failed to recognize until they become ionized. They become lionized, should I say? When they release their ions, at least they become ionized.
They become lionized in Zion's eyes.
Yeah, don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Please don't run with the balls. Right? Please don't run with the balls, man. So,
Yeah. So, you know, we live in this necromancy society, this deaf culture, right? But you can't just blame it on the deaf culture of hip hop because we live amongst a Western society and they're necromantic at their core. It's about worship of the dead, right? So they only love you when you're dead. See how many people are gonna come out of the woodworks to talk about such a great man and how magnificent he was.
presidents,
You know what I mean? And let's honor him and things of that nature.
all the artists. all we're saying is,
Not the rappers though.
yeah, all we're saying is they did not, just for the record, they did not honor that man. Because people are going to be like, you just don't know. They did a gala for him at the, you know what I'm saying? At the Legion's Army Recruitment Center in Vegas, you know, or they're going to come up with all of this other stuff. I'm like, no, fam. I know when you're the father or something, when you are the progenitor.
You got a star in Hollywood at 83.
Exactly.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying?
The man is enshrined, man.
Yeah.
Do your homework. Do your history. Y'all too busy watching debates.
Yeah, I want to do I want everybody in the chat room before we start the program in terms of Rick Ross versus Birdman and this concept of rivals. I want everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody first of all that's up at 2 in the morning. 400 people
Everybody
listening
that's
to
up
us.
on a late night riding with us. You
So
know what I
it's
mean?
2
On
in the morning.
this super late night live stream. But
So just a couple of names I see here. I want to make let them know I'm noticing them. Yoda Bay, Kenny Smith, just called me Tony, Joe Dane, Angle Wings, Dosey Music Group, J Lord Almighty, C Boys 83, TT, L Boo B. Some of you might be trolls that I'm shouting out. I don't know. But shout out to y'all.
Y'all the legends. Y'all made it.
Subscribers and trolls, everybody, man. We appreciate y'all being a rock with us. We ain't sensitive out here. Kenny Smith, Real Black.
You got your number.
Gowdy, the Black Zionist. That's the confess troll. Yo, he said, yo, shout out to the Black Zionist.
Shout out to Confessions of a Troll.
Confessions of a Troll, man. We see you. You converted in real time.
Confess on Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that. You got this work.
Man, good,
yeah.
yo.
You gave up the ghost, man.
Yeah, we appreciate that's
appreciate that.
The Black Zionist, man. Shout out to the Black Zionist.
That's what this information is supposed to do.
That's what it's about.
Real time conversion.
I'm gonna let y'all get into this Birdman versus Rick Ross thing because I got a lot of questions that opens up.
Rick Ross versus Birdman.
Rick Ross versus Birdman.
Shots.
All I can say is, where's the love at?
Exactly.
And loving
That
what
makes
you
me think
do.
about a lot of other things.
When you're
in
doing
terms of
something
just
that's true.
psychology,
We're loving
loyalty,
it too.
friendship,
It is what it is.
music business.
It's backwards.
Contracts.
Music is
There's a
backwards
lot of
for
things
you
into mine. It's
because
not
that's
just
what you was taught
It's a
to do.
continuity of the
Shit backwards.
conversation that we've been having on this particular station, dealing with
Straight
how
is one way.
Hold on, Blue. Before you do that, real quick, Blue.
Just
I
as
want everybody to
this
give me
earth
what
rotates.
I'm gonna call. What
Just
I'm
as
a
your
matrix
heart
shout-out.
beats
What that
2
means is that
seconds,
we all in the
2
holographic
beats per
universe. We all
second,
in the matrix.
one
I'm not
way.
going right now, but
Into
let me know where you from, family.
tomorrow.
It's called the
Another
Matrix
day.
Shout Out. Let me know where in the Matrix you are located right now, where you're tuned in. Yeah, where you tuned in right now. KTL, UGR, we in the building. Let me know where you at in the Matrix. St. Louis, because I seen a brother say he was from Australia. That's what made me
Yeah,
say,
he was
I
from
need a
Texas.
Matrix shout out. Where you at
Yeah,
in the
he was
Matrix
from
at this
Texas in the
time?
Matrix.
Boston,
That's
Cali,
Texas.
Texas, wherever you from, just let me know where you
Houston,
at.
Texas.
But go ahead, Blue Pill, go into this for me, in terms of
It's called
what you're talking about.
rebroadcasting
like I said,
the bullshit that's happening in the world today. I'm not knocking what nobody is broadcasting.
This particular station.
I'm just giving the word
dealing with
on top of what
how
they
we
say.
view one another. You know what
The
I'm saying?
love that we have in us
in regards to
is
the
true
relationships that
as
hold
we
sacred
go through
as
day
quote-unquote
by day
brothers.
by
You know,
day.
the
Because
ability
the
that we
truth
have with
is
the
the
vehicle
truth.
called hip-hop.
Please,
We're supposed to be
people,
the industry that
hear
is
what
born
I say.
out of our own personal
There's no such
struggles
thing
and
as here
it's-
today,
it's something
gone
that has
tomorrow.
been ordained to
Here
us
today,
from our
gone
creative
today.
force. You know what I'm saying? Like my
What are
niggas
you
is
doing
looking for
today?
reparations. You know, God gave you hip
That's
hop.
gonna change
You know what I'm
this
saying? Yeah, nigga,
bullshit.
save yourself. Do
That's
something.
not okay.
You feel me? The
Into
white boys came
rolling
along
the
and seen
straight
niggas ain't know
way.
what they was doing.
In this circle of life that go round.
And they made a business out of it. You know what I'm saying? They've had niggas in a southern place ever since. When it comes to hip hop, you know, this is very key because, yeah, that's that off to me. Yeah, so what they were able to do is they initially brought music industry politics into the game. And around the time when hip hop was at its inception, they had just came out of a, a, a a very protracted attack on R&B soul music that was launched by the CIA, and they utilized Harvard to create a white paper. White paper is a research report that they Harvard told them how they can stop rebellious, revolutionary music coming out of R&B at the time, because they had Marvin Gaye converted. They had, I'm about to say, Stevie Wonder was the last foot that dropped. Once Stevie Wonder flipped, they was like, we can't, you know what I'm saying? We cannot stand by and allow this to happen. You know what I'm saying? And Wesley Muhammad was talking about the protracted effect that they, you know what I'm saying, utilized after the quote-unquote Black God woke up in the 60s and challenged white dominance, because it's about power. You feel me? And once that power dynamic, once they realized that black men wanted power instead of privileges, rights, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you want some rights, nigga? You want some? Yeah, we give you some rights. Oh, you want some? Hey, we give you all that. Yeah, we'll write you some rights.
Executive order, as you see now with Trump. Oh, they could have been sat at the table with a group of Neanderthals,
right,
and wrote you shit up.
But you niggas want some power?
Nah, we can't get no
power.
power.
Oh, now we going to war.
Fact.
So came the biological warfare, came the economic warfare, came all of these things that have residual effects up until this very day. But what they realized is through the music was giving rise to this revolutionary attitude as well, because yes, it's messianic force, because music is a galvanizing force that cannot be contained. So once they realized that the message was now in the music, you can't hold that because it's generational. They're like, shit, this can wake up generations 500 years from now if it's powerful enough.
Yep.
So when Stevie Wonder turned on, and then Bob Marley, once Bob Marley went international, and they saw the effects of his music taking place in insurrections in Africa, revolutionary insurrections in Africa, then they initiated this white paper research. So Chris Blackwell was tapped, who was CIA, and he was who was Bob Marley's manager, and Robert Siega, who was the prime minister at the time. His goons, they got turned on and tapped, and his goons later on became the Shower Posse. You know what I'm saying? And these were not necessarily, even though they were dreaded Jamaicans, they wasn't Rastas, they was Catholic. Okay? So here goes your Catholic, Jesuit, cocaine connection. Shout out to Godfather Part 3 if you need a little bit more research on that. Alright? Shout out to Pablo and them. You dig? So, yeah. So they was just coming off of shutting that energy down, okay, with R&B and reggae. They put the kaputs on that. Then they brought Yellow Man in with the slack music on the reggae side, and the R&B shit turned to disco. I'm on all that other soft shit with the Jerry curls and the sequences. You feel me? And here comes hip hop out of nowhere. But they had no intention on commercializing or capitalizing on hip hop. These niggas was comfortable with battling and shit like that, going for the crumbs, just doing things for entertainment. They didn't have any business sense. And when the first record did pop, which was Sugar Hill Gang, it caught everybody off guard. They were so amazed by the shit, they didn't realize how to capitalize on it.
They was doing mixtapes.
Yeah. So the Jews came in and they figured out, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna rape some more niggas. We were scared in the beginning, but you know, we initially can't be scared because niggas have no idea that they got a gun. You know what I'm saying? Because black people have yet to realize, that the only weapon that the black man has in this country is language. Okay? and you mix the two and you got a weapon. You cook, you shooting. You got nuclear. So they realized the niggas didn't know what they was doing, so they snatched it from underneath them and they brought that Jewish music industry mobster politics into it. And of course, you know, the raping commenced, you know what I'm saying? So when one vampire bites you and shit, and you become a motherfucking mini vampire and you start biting everybody else. And that's what the music industry is. God damn it, I was there. I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, when they come
So,
and put you in a sunken place,
yeah.
you know, they begin to program.
So, yeah, you have let's go through the trajectory. Sylvia Robinson, I might be getting some names wrong here. The way that it went particularly liberal. Let's just follow the trajectory to go into other stories so we can come back to this Cash Money thing. You got your Sylvia Rones and your Sylvia Robinsons. I might be getting the two mixed up. And then you got your Uptown Records with Andre Harrell. Of course, in the background is Clive Davis. You know what I'm saying? Abusing him or doing whatever he's doing.
Hold on.
Right?
Who is the one who was commissioned by?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I missed that part. So when the CIA commissioned Harvard to come up with the white
Hello,
paper
you're through to Pegasus
to
Lifestyle
say,
Management. How can I help?
infiltrate and stymie the rise of revolutionary
Great.
R&B
So it's available for
music.
pickup at our nearest
Rhythm and
location,
blues,
sir.
Soul music.
They went and they gave the assignment to Clive Davis, who was the head of CBS Records. He went and got Stacks and Gumbo. Is it? Am I saying it right? Name right? Stacks and Gamble. Yeah. Humphrey, yeah. And they had Stacks Records, okay, out of Philly, I believe. And the white paper report was telling them, look, don't interrupt the first project. You know what I'm saying?
Let it rock.
Let it rock. Let the first project. So he signed them. They was happy. This starts the contractual rate, okay?
Yeah.
And we know about the other dude. I forgot his name. He just made transition. He was over at Atlantic Records. So you got a long legacy. Like, these niggas got mad rape on these motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were serial rapers. They was already raping Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, Chuck Berry. Everybody had already been raped. Look, Richard, look Cadillac Records. Look at all that shit.
Yeah.
This is a long history of abuse and rape. You feel me? And then hip-hop gets created, and there's no emphasis on saying, wait, how can we correct the errors from the past? No, niggas went into a burning house. Okay? Niggas went straight into the burning house. They sat at a fucking burning table, got hit in the head with the embers and everything, and here we go. So, with that being said, Clive Davis was commissioned at CBS Record to get the hottest group for R&B production at the time under his wing. Because they said you're going to infiltrate the music through the production. All right? You're going to take the live instruments out, and you're going to put the synthesizers in, and then you're going to digitize it, and then you're going to start making suggestions to these producers for them to do other than what they're used to doing. And if they go along with you, then you got them. Then you can go, you know what I'm saying, gradually and start changing everything. And that's what they did. Okay? They utilized that technique. Clive Davis was the one who do it. So here goes hip-hop at its burgeoning beginning stages. There's a lot of things that happened prior to Uptown Records, but this is the emphasis. This is when I started taking notice. You know what I'm saying? With that whole movement with Heavy D and Andre Harrell was helming it, you know what I'm saying? But Clive Davis was in the background. Puffy was an intern, you know what I'm saying? So Clive is getting abused. Andre's getting abused. Andre starts abusing Puff. You know what I'm saying? They start raping Jodeci and marrying everybody else that they had under management. You feel me? He gets big. He rapes Biggs Publishing. You understand? I had just seen a report with the Bodyguard. You know what I'm saying? He did something updated on MREX channel, but he was like, yo, Puff didn't know that Big was writing for Kim. Because he had to keep that a secret because Puff owned Biggs Publishing, right? And yeah, he would have got PC. So this is the only way he was trying to eat under the table, by utilizing this gun. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stack this gun over here, she gonna shoot, and I'm gonna eat with that. You dig? So son had got high and blew it up or something like that and tore all of that down. So the raping commences with that. One of them came in the game, they're raping Cam. Cam starts raping Jimmy. Jimmy's raping Max. And it goes on and on and on, and then the culmination of that took place what we seen the other day when that shit blew up. So every day I wake up, another group breaks up. You feel me? As famously said by our brother Jigga Man, all of the things that we have seen in our lifetime in terms of the great groups dismantling and breaking up, all of the loss of good music, all of the potential for classic albums to be made that never got done.
Yep.
All the fuck shit in hip hop is rooted in contractual disputes.
Yep.
The money not being right, the paperwork being suspect, all of it. EPMD, Tribe Called Quest, you name it, Eric B. and Rakim. All of it centered around bread. And the bread always get funny because of the contract. You feel me? Wu-Tang. You name it. You can run down the list. Fugees. It's, you know, I mean, there might have been some more personal things involved in some of these situations. You feel me? I think you got to turn that back on. You know, the Fat Boys break up. You know what I mean? Everybody's getting raped. You know what I'm saying? It's a raping you records culture that is the head vampire. You know what I'm saying? Bit these other vampires, and everybody's running around the industry biting one. Yeah. Saying live, we good? All right, give us 1 second, family. We gotta make sure that everything is streaming effectively. Yeah, so I don't know where we lost our connection, where we left off, family. I'm gonna rewind it slightly.
Hey there, it's your partner, LJT. Now, I feel like we've kind of hit a ceiling with the business. If you want to break that profit ceiling, invest and upgrade the equipment. I'll leave that with you.
Their feet wet on the street level, and a lot of them dealt with minimal levels of distribution by going out of the trunk. One in particular was our brother Master P, who learned the game out west from JT Bigger Figure, and a lot of other brothers who had already mastered the art of bumping out of your trunk. You know what I'm saying? Pushing units amongst your demographic where you could go hood platinum. So he took that model as the ice cream man, took it south, and started bumping out of his trunk to a degree where he brought the labels to their knees, but they had to negotiate and give him a favorable, right, in that had never been done in the music industry before. So they said this can't happen again. So what happens? Universal comes along, right? And with the help of Wendy Day, okay, she helped Birdman, who also was bubbling independently in New Orleans and fire in the South because he had the Hot Boys and they was on fire, right? She helped him negotiate a $30 million contract with Universal.
A
right?
word of warning, partner, the ID business is at maximum capacity. So you'll need to unload some bogus documents before you can print any more, or like, make a profit, okay?
So this was
Comprende? Sell
them kind
something.
of indoctrinating and lionizing again their competition. Look, we're gonna put guns in your hand.
LJT, you got a minute?
Figuratively and literally.
I feel like our little enterprise is doing well, but it could be doing even weller.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Upgraded equipment. It's your outlay, so it's your call.
Yeah, we're gonna leave this truck right here. You know what I'm saying? Going open and shit. You know what I'm saying? With barrels of guns. Because, you know, Master P's model was a threat to the music industry. He was not playing ball by their rules. He was playing it by his own. Yeah, and he was doing the numbers. He was utilizing that system to say, look, I'm going to run this work through this. I'm going to wear this bitch. I'm going to knock some wheels off of it and everything. You feel me? And they're looking like, oh, shit, somebody done figured this thing out. You know what I'm saying? They was getting a percentage of distribution. That's all he needed them for. He had KFC making the beats. You know what I'm saying? He had Pen and Pixel making his graphics. He was doing his own packaging. You feel me? They was booking their own shows. They was moving. And he utilized the concept of the Chitlin Circuit that all of these other legends that we're talking about tonight, this is what they, the Chuck Berrys of the world, the Little Riches of the world, all of these people were James Browns of the world, all of these people were utilizing these, again, industrialized, self-contained and self-made systems. Okay? Where the white boy was not involved, because he couldn't push, quote unquote, what they call nigga music to his people, right? And when they could, they told him, look, we got to put white people on the cover, all right? And he's like, nah, we not with that. You know what I'm saying? The Eddie James of the world and everything. And again, Cadillac Records goes into this. The James Brown story goes into this. Most Def, shout out to Most Def, or my brother, what's his new name? What's Most Def name? Yassine Bey, my bad. I apologize. This is long boss, yeah. You know, shout out to the brother. He played Chuck Berry in the movie. I think it was in Cadillac Records as well. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this history has already been documented in some of these movies that people want to check out. But they utilize the chitlin circuit, you know, to get their chicken up initially. You know what I'm saying? Until they was able to break into the mainstream, because the mainstream could no longer ignore them because they started producing #1 records. They were doing their numbers. Alright? It was revving up those numbers, and you can't ignore the numbers.
Wait today.
Why you do that? You know, I just thought about, I was watching a video, what's the name? Still Drake, I think, Still DRE, yeah, Still DRE. Yo, what's how the sisters, voluptuous bodies in the females look so different then and now?
Right.
The females now are super. Different back then and now.
Yeah.
The females now are supersized me. They are, yo man, back then I was like, oh shit, the sisters used to look like this.
Yeah, with the baggy.
Yo, man, yo, it's so different. It's so different. Yo, it's so different the way the females look now.
Perspective, yeah, you gotta just put shit together to see the perspectives. So imagine what Chuck and them was running up on.
We live in a holographic universe. And people begin to see that body shape that they adored or they admired or they wanted to see in life. It began to caricature. Yeah, like the caricature.
Remember Shorty over
Remember
the
Ice-T?
Yeah.
Where they molded. Yeah, you molded her. So we had this vixen, this
Molded
video
cats,
vixen,
yeah.
body cats. You know what I mean? We had this.
Look, I had seen it. I seen it the other day. Hold on. Who set it off?
I had seen it. My computer was just rolling and playing videos the other day, and I was in post-production creative mode or what have you. But I heard the video come on, and I looked, and I remember this shit started with Buffy the Body.
Remember? It's Outkast and Big Boys. I like the way. Yeah. So remember how unrealistic that niggas was like.
Back
In
then,
a safari, niggas was like.
everybody was glued to the TV back then. That's just like, that's Buffy the Body.
Just had to look underneath shit like,
Is that real? What the fuck? And then this is when the whole concept and the education of Venus Hot and Top came into play. Where all the smart niggas came around, they was like, nah, son, there's a contextual backdrop to the story because when we were in, right? And then you just started, right? And then, yeah. So, they were trying to Hot and Top save her, but she became the preferred, quote-unquote, stock. So she became the preferred stock. So it was no longer okay for a shorty just to have a bubble. You had to have a retarded bubble. You know what I'm saying? And then in the porn world, Cherokee came, Pinky came, you know what I'm saying? Roxy Rick, all of them came, and the shit just got exaggerated. So once that became the man's preference, right? And if he's the sun and she's the moon,
and like Chocolate came, the video that did it, the video,
Right.
Tip Drill is what brought it to that whole nother, you know, it exploded that.
and it was no turning back.
Remember, that was BT.
Right. So that was because she was money in the bank. She was cash money. So here we go. We're talking about cash money. So you have this concept where Universal, right, deputizes Baby and Cash Money to say, look, we need you to quietly rival this machine over here, because these niggas is out of control, right? So, you know, he starts putting out a litany of hits. Initially jump-started with Juvenile's Ha. Okay? Right. And a lot of you youngins might not be fully awoke or aware of where you were at or what happened when this shit hit. I was fully woke. And I remember it like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That yellow Rari. You feel me? I can't even remember the director's name. I think it was, which one of the white boys was it? I gotta do research here. Take a step. I think it was Otto's or 112, and I remember it coming on late night. It might have been uncut. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it might have been uncut. Keep in mind, uncut precedes what we know now as World Star. This conglomerate, this behemoth that's known as World Star, it has a humble beginning. We didn't cover that in the World Star video that we did. But it comes out of Smack DVD. It comes out of the bum fights. It comes out of uncut. It comes out of the rise in the DVD porno stuff. It comes out of remember, Smack brought in the hammers. Smack DVD, that brought in niggas from the hood waving hammers. I remember the first time people were seeing that, they was like, yo, this shit crazy. Hood to Hood and all that, right? That was before Hood to Hood. Hood to Hood took it to a whole nother level. So that's the DVD era. The online era first, World Star, which is it encompasses all of that underneath one roof, including a DVD of consciousness, so you get your scattered conscious clips here and there. You know what I'm saying? So when that nigga, he couldn't do that NBC News. Yeah, go ahead.
LJT here. You heard the expression, money doesn't grow on trees? Well, it doesn't grow in your money factory either. They're out of supplies, so head over there and start a materials run now.
Cash Money has such a, it's like what do they do so what happened to Wu-Tang's rival? If they got a rival for No Limit Cash Money, is this a formula they use with every crew that comes out?
Wu-Tang's rival was on Bad Boy Records.
Yo, hold up. Blue.
Let's go.
Blue,
ask the question, let's go. That was their rival.
Wu-Tang's rival was Bad Boy. That's deep.
1996.
I never
Summer
heard that.
Jam. Second album. Wu-Tang's second album. Yeah. Right? They made the big mistake.
What you need, boss? Some wheels?
Coming out on
bring them
Summer Jam
around.
stage. And the fact that album did not have
I'll get
the
there as
level
soon
of
as I
hits
can.
that they anticipated. That shit was working with niggas with fatigues on and baggy jeans or what have you, but it wasn't commercialized. It was in an era when Bad Boy was on their march. These niggas was dancing with shiny suits. So they made the critical misstep of criticizing subliminally on stage. They criticized them subliminally. You know what I'm saying? Almost on some Shook Knight shit like, yo, tired of niggas dancing in your videos. You know what I'm saying? Some of them came on stage and they was like, oh, y'all here for it? Because the audience wasn't applauding. And into it, they wasn't giving them that love like they felt that they deserved. The audience was there for ODB, right? The crazy nigga out the bunch. They was there for that shit. That's what people loved really in the Wu-Tang initially. This was before Random made their run. So they was like, yo, but y'all niggas is here for dancing ass niggas, and that's what we doing now in New York? Something to that effect. They took a shot. Yeah. And the New York City radio shut them down because Puff had the machine behind them. So his shit was like they had to play politics. oh, you either fucking with us or you fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get these exclusive records though if you fucking with them. So since they were a little bit colder, you gotta go with the heat. This is Hot 97.
Facts.
My man.
There's the boss.
You're not gonna be on this show this year, like, you know what I'm saying? And you're definitely not headlining.
Yeah.
You feel me? They just got uninvited.
Yeah.
So ODB started having his situations, so it was easy to curb niggas because he was on a run. This is the show that he popped up on when he was on a run. You feel me? And he showed up. I think he got knocked in the drive-through with the bulletproof vest on or some shit like that. My man had clapped him or what have you. So he was going through some shit. Shout out to you know who you are. So, yeah, son has showed up. You know what I mean? And he captured the heart to the people. They loved ODB. You know what I'm saying? Because he had that motherfucking drunken energy that everybody, the commoner, can relate to. You know what I'm saying?
Remember,
Niggas was
Wu-Tang-
not, they wasn't on them, the sciences and all of that. That shit was dwindling in the streets. Niggas
Just to
wasn't
give you a concept
doing the
of
knowledge.
just to give you a concept of what the different rappers represented in that era, Wu-Tang represented the robbers. Biggie was representing the hustlers that the robbers were trying to rob. Big and them were portraying that Willie image. The Wu and them was portraying the they were the antithesis to that image.
To that image.
So they were talking.
They were the wolves for those sheep.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean?
And it all culminated at the MSG event when Wu-Tang and them ran. They talk about it in their music when niggas was getting robbed backstage, and that's when I think, you know, somebody mistakenly tried to do something big, and ironically enough, that was the night Killer Ben got killed.
Yeah.
And when Killer Ben got killed for that transgression, this is when these people's street elevation or the legend of their street cred or their rise or their untouchability factor, you know what I'm saying, became created. Now, we still don't know, right?
Rivals.
When idols become rivals, so you're talking about a lion, you're talking about somebody who's street cred, you're talking about somebody who was running with the real 50 Cent, you're talking about somebody that once was considered untouchable. Same way with 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, and Homicide, okay? Who used to work with us, rest in peace, when we was at Mike Tyson management. That's my man's in them,
bro.
You feel me?
Jackie.
So, yeah, shout out to Jackie, bro. Definitely got to get on the program. You know what I mean? So, all of this, you know, when again, like we was talking about earlier, the last episode, the whole Benny Blanco effect. You know what I'm saying? When Carlito curved the little dude and the little dude come back hitting. You feel me? Firing. So, if we want to jump and fast forward all the way through Cash Money, because Cash Money has a very storied career and existence, and there's a lot of untold elements of them that people might not be privy to if he wasn't there. We was in studios with them, because again, the sister they were talking about, Jackie Rowe, she was their confidant. She was their consigliere. You know what I'm saying? She was their consigliere. So whenever they came to New York, they would consult with her. You know what I'm saying? She's the one they had to check in with. And not had to, you know what I'm saying? They preferred to. You know, Baby and her had a special relationship. So we were around these people. You know what I'm saying? We saw the entire situation unfold. We seen them get rid of the little Cash Money chains and shit. You know what I'm saying? The little lock joints that they had. You feel me? And they upgraded to Jacob. You know what I'm saying? I saw the briefcase with the money. I remember the case when Jacob sold a nigga the fake pinky ring. The shit turned yellow canary yellow like a motherfucking taxi cab before Canary Diamonds was in, because it was fake. And he caught it for $3 million, and he sued him after that. So we were there behind the scenes, mad shit. I was in the studio when a lot of these conversations were being had. When Lil Wayne was really Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? He was a low nigga. And the emphasis at that time was Juvenile. And then BG was the one coming up. So they was trying to suppress Lil Man, who got hot with his verse. You feel me? His breakout verse that he had. He wasn't expected to be in the pipeline like that. It wasn't his turn yet. So they had a systematic approach about how he was going to play these things. They had a very well-oiled machine in regards to the vision that they had, and Slim being the business, the quiet man, you know what I'm saying, the Baron Somni of the whole situation.
Right.
So,
This might be dude, the Kaiser Sose.
Kaiser Sose. So those dudes played it, man. They played it very cleverly. You know what I'm saying? Very systematically and cleverly. I remember the night that Jay-Z stabbed Un at Kit Kat Club. Before Jay-Z stabbed Un, which we were at that event too, we also was at the music, the album release party that he had at Urban Plaza. Okay? So at the Urban Plaza performance, he had the song with Juvenile, Snoopy or something like that, man. So at this event, this is when Cash Money and the Baby in particular, he came out with 5 million on. He came out with the Bangles. So Jay's thing at that time was, you know, his platinum and shit like that. Son had a little bit of pieces on. Son came through with the jewelry store and shut him down in his own town. So he was in his feelings from that, going to the Kit Kat Club. Like, oh, this nigga, these country niggas just came into my town, utilized me to get on my stage and shut my shit down because they bling bling. Yeah, they bling bling was blinging off. You feel me? And his shit was at a tweak. So Summer's in his feelings. He goes to Kit Kat Club, and I remember I was interviewing Ice-T on the floor at the time, and we caught the footage of what went down. And then Son, of course, you know, he negotiated something with Jackie, and he got that footage removed because, you know what I'm saying? It would contradict everything that was being said that he was saying that he didn't do. But that's a whole nother story for another time. So, Cash Money, you know, had this very, you know what I'm saying? They moved very cleverly. You know what I'm saying? The way the Baby moved was very strategic. And like I said, he always had his Kaiser Sose in the corner, which was slim. You know, but even back then, like in those early studio sessions when we was around them, they was complaining about money. Juvenile was getting raped. Back then, you know what I'm saying? He was cognizant of that. You feel me? DG was always high. Lil Wayne just wanted to get on. Chuck wasn't around. Okay? So, this was systemic. You know what I'm saying? This abuse that was taken, this contractual abuse. And then, of course, Wayne, you know, eventually got the records that he needed. And all those other characters got moved out of the way. Manny Fresh, you know what I'm saying? He got his wake-up call. He was getting bent over. Pause. And, you know, when you from Calio Projects, when you from Magnolia, when you from Hollygrove, nigga, you want to get on. And you want to remain lit. You know what I'm saying? By any means, it's like, yo, if homie taking the lion's share and I'm along for the ride, so be it. So, the decisions that Wayne made when he was small and little, when he was a jit, is what he's grown up to live with today. So he might be whining, but he's not doing too much crying. There's other niggas that are coming on his behalf to speak for him. But those are situations that he knew about from day one. He seen everybody else get fucked. And he damn sure knew that he wasn't getting the equitable deal. As a little nigga, as an 11 and 12-year-old, he got pulled in. You feel me? But they have this false allegiance to think, oh, because I'm a hitter, I'm an earner, I'm pulling in these numbers, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to get this level of upgrade. That's not how it works. You feel me? Once you get paid, like,
and that exists on many different industries.
It's not gonna upgrade you because you got some good box. Nigga, you the bottom bitch. Period. You an earner. Great. You're my #1 earner. You my #1 bitch. Cool. I got a medal for you. I got a medal for you. You get a Rolex watch when you retire. Fake shit though. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that occurs in the music industry. We saw that in NWA autobiography when they showed the rape that took place with Jerry Heller and his henchman or his partner in crime, who was Eazy-E, who was cognizant of the jerking or the raping you records that was taking place, right? So he was playing the other Ice Cube, Yella, and everybody else who was they were the writers, they were the sweatshop. They were the OVO sweatshop. They were the one putting in that work. You feel what I'm saying? Ice Cube mainly because he was the main writer penning hits. But the people who were getting the lion's share of that money was Jerry Heller and Eazy-E. You dig what I'm saying? So we've seen this happen on many occasions. Always remember management and talent. When you look at situations, always be able to identify managerial versus talent in the two situations. Then you maybe can establish the pimp and hoe relationship, or maybe you can establish who's the one that is basically pulling the strings. It's not usually the talent is moving the managerial. It's the other way around. Managerial is the one who is steering the talent.
There was some very stand-up people in the music industry that came along with a level of equity that kind of made shit all right for people. Those people are no longer around, okay? For a reason. Shakir Stewart, he's dead. Chris Lighty, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? And these brothers always end up dying under mysterious circumstances. So even with somebody like Ross, the way that he was able to get an equitable deal to a degree where he's been able to navigate through the industry. I don't say that he was, these artists, none of these artists are unfucked. You know what I'm saying? Some people might have it better than others. But he was one of the only artists in our era that was able to establish a break-off label, something that artists from, you know, our earlier era, everybody had a spin-off label, what they call boutique labels, okay? Because nobody really has control of these labels. It's a piece of paper in a drawer with a logo on it. You got a label, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's a DBA. It's not no real fucking label. Like, you don't have your own office and department with your own.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you can get a building.
Yeah, like
With
that's
a
not
garage.
what that is.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
piece of paper with a logo on it,
With a studio in the basement.
with an EIN.
Yeah.
You're a
that's your
DBA.
business.
You know what I'm saying? So
Folder.
Ross was smart enough, and Shakir and them showed him the game to a degree, and he was under Jay initially, you know what I'm saying? And he got the game, and he was able to make something of it. So he has done very well, and from what we can tell, he has dealt somewhatly equitable, you know, he dealt with his artists in an equitable fashion. I just hear Wale, you know, throw barbs out. He be throwing subs out every now and then, but
Not in
Yeah.
comparison of what we're talking about.
yeah, like,
The person
yeah.
who he was.
That's
you know,
yeah. He has to be complicit in his own shortcomings, not doing units like that. But if me came out and was like, yo, I'm broke, you know what I'm saying? I'm not eating, nigga ain't give me nothing, then you can look at something like he crazy. But Ross's whole ideal was to say, I'm going to establish this label for my artists to eat. You know what I'm saying? These other labels are established for the CEO to eat. So ironically enough, we're here having a conversation about when idols turn rivals, and one of the biggest artists in the game, who happens to be on Cash Money, comes out with an album today. You know what I'm saying? He said, I don't know nobody from my label. I just hand this shit over. You understand? These niggas is running this shit like a trap house. But he's been able to run this shit for a trap house for 20 plus years, effectively. You feel me? Fucking artist after artist after artist after artist. And he might literally be fucking artist after artist after artist after artist. You know what I'm saying? So we want to talk about this ideology that has overcome the mind of our people. Is it possible to deal equitably with your people if you're dealing with this European Americanism, capitalistic mindset, where it's like, look, I'm going to deal with you like the European dealt with me. You feel me? What's the African model of capitalism? What's the street model where we can deal equitably one another, where we split this pie 50-50? Is that even possible in these industries? You understand? To prevent the continuous idols turning to rival that we continuously see, that we have seen since the inception of the business part of quote-unquote hip-hop. Somebody talk to me.
What is it about? I was talking to Red Pill about this earlier, but the whole idea of when a person has an idol, the more access they have to that idol, the more interaction they have with that idol. I was talking to Red Pill. and the majority of the times it goes sour. Your idol, for some reason, percentage-wise, your relationship goes sour when you meet your idol. Because you love him so much, why does it always go sour?
The sun should be idolized from afar. The closer that you get to the sun, you're more susceptible to burn your corona. Okay? So people get close to these people who they see, right? These lionized figures, right? These bright suns. You get closer to them, and you like, God damn, you can't handle the glare, right? Bright suns with dark spots. You like, well, God damn, I ain't know. You feel me? You start seeing shit that you might not want to see. Because the closer that you get to the sun, the shit start looking ugly. Okay?
You see the dark spots.
You see the dark spots. You see the blemishes. You see the swirls, and the shit don't look like the sun look when you over here, and it's just all bright, glowy, and flaring. You feel me? You see the eruptions, you see the violence of it. You see the violence, you see the fucking hydrogen explosions, you see what goes into it, and it's not that attractive. It's chaotic. You understand? So that's what it is that these individuals are seeing. You know, if you idolize somebody, idolize them from afar. You dig what I'm saying? Idolize them from afar. Like, my shit was shattered when I met my quote-unquote fucking idols and heroes, like, completely. Like, these niggas is derelicts. You feel me? Can't stand these niggas, like, god damn. So, my own personal advice, like, stay away. You feel me? Stay away, because you're gonna see something that you weren't in line to see. You didn't expect to see that, because you wasn't thinking, you wasn't in that bag. You was under the motherfucking illusion that this person is perfect. You feel me? Yeah. Based on the fact that they have something that you want. So you're idolizing them. You're putting more fucking credit on them that they deserve. Because you're like, damn, this is how I want my shit to be lit.
Exactly.
You understand?
So you're living vicariously.
Yeah, vicariously.
Through somebody else. And then when that person doesn't measure up to what it is that you have created in your mind, who and what that person's supposed to be, when they don't live up to your standards, when you see that they put their pants on utilizing 2 legs the same way that you did it, when they come in the bathroom behind you and there's a stench and they're like, damn, it doesn't smell like frankincense. Hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I mean? You know.
So case in point, right? Ross said he got close enough to see the
watch his face. Oh my goodness.
Watch the face. It looks different from afar.
Yeah.
You feel me? It looks different from afar. The shit is manicured. It's well put together. This is the entertainment industry though. So these individuals getting caught up, right? The fact that, yeah, these cars are rented. These homes are rented. This jewelry is fake. You understand?
Going back to what the initial conversation about certain individuals who learn what they always refer to as the game. What is the game? Nobody has defined that in the way where we all understand exactly to a T what the game is. But somehow they learn the game, and the game is what? The game is smoke and mirrors. The game is the matrix. The game is the illusion. The game is the tools and the resources utilized to create illusions, the magic wand, and people get in possession of that. That's credit. That's business credit. That's certain lines of credit. That's how to get an 800 credit score. You know what I mean? That's how to tap into utilizing other people's money. That's how to get the bag from doing endorsements and other things, or for writing for people on the low, becoming ghostwriters. That's for turning your body into an ATM, all kind of other things. Accepting offers and gifts to people who have the bag, you understand, are going to naturally offer you, because they know that you are basically coming into a situation. They know that 90% of these artists have nothing. So to imply that certain people did not take oaths or did not do things that they are ashamed of, or things that were beyond their control, no! These niggas is Americans, and if you put an American in a room with a more powerful American, he's gonna grab their pussy and they're not gonna say anything. They're conditioned to do that. They're conditioned to accept that.
Especially
they're conditioned to be raped. Remember, the Americana society programs black people, the blacks specifically, to do what? To identify themselves as the slave race or a slave culture or slave-like people, and automatically, by proxy, you look at what is known as white people, or what they refer to as white people, in a master's position. That is the relationship that we see take place that disgusts us. Hold on. The relationship that takes place that produces what is known as these pimp hole relationships. Because if you came in there knowing who the hell you were and knowing who the hell they were, which is very important, it ain't just about know thyself. It's about know everything around you also. So if you don't know who they are and you go into these situations, you come out of these situations with the same results that we see on Unsung, that we see on the goddamn blogs, that we see on all of these tragedies and these dark comedies that we're watching all day on Instagram. Going back to what you were saying about this broken, what is it called?
The cult of broke adults.
Where you throw bones at the cult of broken adults and you make fun of people and you do what? You demonstrate all of the qualities of the troll that Blue Pill was breaking down on that monumental classic episode with Supernova. You dig what I'm saying? You exhibit those characteristics like sadomasochism. You like to see niggas burning at the stake. You like to see people nailed to a cross. You like to see men get crucified. All of these things. This is Americana. This is what they program into the sheep, into the people, and they know how to pull the triggers. Why? Because they're what is called social scientists. This is what they study. These are not only social scientists, these are social engineers. These people, these are the children of Edward Bernays, or Bernays, okay? These people, or Sigmund Freud, but basically what Bernays did with the propaganda and what he did with mind control and what he did with utilizing public relations and propaganda as a form of manipulating and shaping public opinion. So they got our people shaping, they have people who they're signing to these conglomerate labels who are affiliated. Remember, if you want to talk corporate or fascism or corporate cronyism, we're talking about multinational corporations who are all related. Universal has ties to Exxon, has ties to De Beers,
Right.
Council of Foreign Relations. All of these people are loaning young melanated men and women who they have contractually put into a bind, sunken place, controlling not only their image but their likeness. Like they said in the movie, I'm going to be the one steering the motherfucking boat. Like Eddie Murphy showed you in, what was that, Dave? When he was in a body?
Yeah. It wasn't Dave, I don't think, but I know what you're talking about. That
So,
movie when he was...
Exactly.
Ship,
So they're showing us how this European mind state, this westernized mind state, this Western mind, this Neanderthal mind state, is steering people to do things and to be unlike themselves, and to do things and to accept.
Because again, right, in pimping whole culture, right, the dominant is always the one on top.
Always the one on top. And in Roman culture.
Yeah, in Roman culture as well.
Yeah.
So, this is the dynamic. There's no breaking away from it. So, unless somebody goes into the industry with a revolutionary mindset, unless you go in there on some Hannibal Barker shit, that you're going to go up your road and motherfucking sack it, you're going into a dynamic where you're around dominant people who are exerting a level of Western white male dominance over you. Like, nigga, there's no way that you're going to be on top. You're on the bottom. We're the dominant. We're on top. We dictate. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we're talking about the dynamic of quote-unquote power, which can be achieved through this medium of media and entertainment, especially through music. But it will not be allowed. Like, these people are on their fucking post. They know exactly what time it is. So there's nobody that's going to squeeze through without them putting you in that sunken place by way of that contract where you don't own your likeness anymore. when you sign that contract, nigga, you're sinking. You're in the sunken place till your shit is over. You can't use your name. You can't use your likeness. You know what I'm saying? And anytime you do, somebody's getting a fucking check. You're a hoe. And the fact of the matter is, 1 million fucking babies lined up waiting for their opportunity to get up in the sunken place. Right now. They're in South by West.
South by Southwest.
Hey, right now. Yeah. Lined up, just waiting. They got the KY ready. You understand? So, all these stories are going to come out. You're going to have artist after artist after artist, you know what I'm saying, making testimonials about what went wrong. And niggas is going to be niggas. They're going to be like, not me. That's not gonna I'm going to be the one. Yeah, I'm the Neo. I'm going to dodge that bullet.
Yes, I'm him.
I'm him.
I'm going to dodge it.
I'm going to dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about, there's several things I've read recently. I know Red posted something about Pharrell getting paid peanuts from the streaming service Pandora.
Yeah. Yes.
We also have a situation where Chan said he received $500,000 from Apple to stream his album exclusively. What do you think about?
Days? No.
For 2 months, right?
No.
How many days?
For 3 days.
That's it.
Let's Google that.
3 days?
For 3 days, I believe.
Nah, I had to. I think
that's the power.
But the thing is, since we're talking about Rick Ross versus Birdman, he was coming at Birdman for his business practices. What do you think about this new streaming technology where fans can stream your album? Do you think this is the saving grace for independent artists where we don't have to go to labels? We could just go straight to iTunes or straight to Tidal or something and get a stream? What you think about the streaming services?
I think the streaming services are definitely revolutionary. They work because everything is mobile now. We went into this, there's this rise in the mobile market.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlight?
Mobile now, we went into this, there's this rise in the mobile market. So, you could definitely, you could reach more people in a more intimate way, in a time, because remember, they're not going to the record store and choosing between your CD and 8 other people that are established artists who are on 106 in Park. That whole lot, like all 8 of them came out throughout the show to tell you that their album was coming out the same time that yours is. No, you're on now. You're in the digital realm, which is basically in your smartphone, pardon me, or it's on your home computer or something. But now you have access. So streaming is wonderful. One of the things that streaming should be, the streaming services should be owned. The servers and the services should be owned by these independent artists, a conglomerate of them, or just artists who have the technique, the developers, the code writers, the financials, or whatever.
The work's been done. Take the car to the buyer and don't let another organization get in the way.
To have your album streaming on Spotify, you're not going to get paid from their streaming services. The best way that you can get paid from a streaming service is if it's a service that you can buy equity in. It's a service that people that you are affiliated with are responsible for starting up that service. That would be the best thing, because the time, the energy, and the wherewithal that you put into this app or this service or the streaming service, that's what's going to make it grow. The same way that all of these other apps, they come out whenever, they're growing, they're dropping. It's not just the only ones, which is Spotify and Apple and things of that nature, and Pandora. Me personally, we haven't gone that route where we fed that machine and have all of our music, like the Scorpion King album. It's going to be remastered, tightened up, you know what I mean, and then it will go to streaming services. But I don't have no hang-ups about that.
My album is going to be released exclusively on streaming services.
Yeah.
That's how I listen to music. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think anymore that because the music industry has somewhat changed, that people are not looking necessarily, you feel me, to make their money off of album sales. And Chance the Rapper is going to change the game in regards to that. So the biggest thing that we're talking about in music is an artist that did it himself, you know what I'm saying? And he has been able to successfully sidestep getting bent over and having any of these situations. And I guess that's the only way to do it. But it's already been done. You know what I'm saying? The only way to do it, the model is already here. You feel me? What Birdman and them represent is already dead. You know what I'm saying? It's a dead regime. So those vampires, those daywalkers, they've already got their silver bullet. They already got Slade. You know what I'm saying? Chance the Rappers. And before him, Macklemore does not get mentioned at all in any of these conversations. kNOw does not get mentioned in any of these conversations. You know, there are a lot of other artists that are mention worthy in regards to the fact that they have been able. Nipsey Hussle is not getting mentioned in these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Who was selling $100 CDs and $1,000? Yeah, at one point he jumped in. You know what I'm saying? And did his thing at that. So, you know, there are artists that are chipping away at the model that leads to raping. There's no way around the raping. You know what I'm saying? If, again, like we said, if Drake, arguably the biggest artist in the world, is, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting.
No, I would beg to differ. I would say that we live in the time, in the era now, with the advancement in technology, because of software as a service, because of the fact that they have been able to eliminate brick and mortar and go straight to click and order. What is created is a direct to market. Usually, if we're on the streets, it's from carpet, it's direct to carpet. You getting it from the CD man. That's how we was getting it. We were getting new music right off of the carpet. Artists were being breaked right off of carpets, right off the ground or out of brick and mortar. The CD man, the DVD man. Now you can do that online in this digital realm. So the technology, because it's mobile, can enable artists who belongs to a network of at least 10,000 people or 100,000 people or 500,000 people. There's groups on Facebook. There's groups on Instagram and other places. There's people who have those followings, one person. You feel what I'm saying? So if there's a way now to monetize a release or a project where everybody commits to at least $1 or $10, you dig what I'm saying? And it's push button, then you can find yourself completely changing the model of music and what it means to be independent. Like we said, 100 like Prince, and that's what we're doing. And we're experiencing that with Scorpion King. By being 100%, going straight through Bandcamp, and it works. You know what I mean? It's a good look. So streaming gets more people to hear your music. That is the idea, because like Blue was saying, it's not even about the music anymore. This is about the Renaissance. It's bigger than the music. It's about like Chance the Rapper, his legend is being carved in stone because of his philanthropy, what he's doing, his actions.
Yeah, his merchandising, his marketing.
Yeah.
And as a result,
it's the movie that you
what
and
he's doing,
your music is
how he has empowered himself to empower others. So the charitable aspects of, you know, how they might look at other these artists who are contractually obligated, you know, to have their hands tied. You feel me? It might have been in the fine writings. You're like, damn, why these niggas never came back? Like, you know what I'm saying? How could this little dude come from Chicago and write $1 million check? He's not contractually obligated to nobody telling him what he can do as a man. These other niggas got invisible leashes. Irregardless of how uncomfortable that makes you feel, you know what I'm saying? What you think about your artists. Artists are some of the weakest motherfuckers on the planet because of those contracts. You know what I'm saying? They have something, they got a hammer and an axe over their heads at all times. And you can tell by how they act. You feel me? And this is not throwing no stones in the rocks. I'm just saying, goddammit. I was in the fucking industry, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be. You can just sit back, get you a cup of tea, okay? Just stroll through the internet, read some of these stories, go look at some of them episodes, look for yourself. Just use that fucking eye that you got, that you love peering and voyeuring into everybody else's life. Like, just, you know, attach that shit to your brain, and your eyes are attached to your fucking brain, all right? And do the knowledge to be like, no, something ain't right here. You know what I'm saying? These dudes could have definitely cooked up a pot by now. I mean,
yeah, like with all of the shenanigans that take place,
if not even just for distribution for themselves. And then of course we got to throw it back and speak about Irv Gotti, Jay Prince, and Suge Knight when they attempted.
And then later
they attempted
the Supreme,
you know what I'm saying?
Henchman.
And I think Supreme and Jimmy Henchman were involved in that situation in the background.
Okay.
Everybody got cases.
Yeah.
They put cases on all the bitches. On all your bitches.
Yeah, they damn sure did. They stopped that
So
train.
yeah, they shut that train down.
Shut that down.
They threw a body on the track and derailed that train.
So yeah, there's a resistance,
and that's in signals. That's in signals. Because if you can shut down Jay Prince, if you can shut down Suge, as powerful as Suge was at that time, Irv Gotti was doing his numbers. So here goes these three powerhouses to get together. And they ain't waste no time. They Cosby them like, stop!
and line them up.
Yeah, like, you talking about, again, because you're dealing with mob money, not just regular mob money, multinational corporations, the mob money that goes all the way up to the Vatican mob money. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are intricate nets of companies that control shit on different levels. Not just the fact that these motherfuckers got stocks in prisons or what have you.
And also, yeah,
these record companies are banks.
Yes, they're banks.
And once again, we're telling you this because we were I was in the fucking executive boardrooms, goddammit. I know who the goddamn nigga was who came downstairs that made all of the shots. Who called all the shots. He was a banker. He was a Jewish banker.
And I was at
He didn't have no fucking record industry history. He was a Jewish banker.
And I was at Polo. I was at Polo Grounds.
And this nigga's like, he came downstairs on a cloud. Hold on. This nigga used to float. And he signed the checks. Now I'm looking at Epic now and I'm like, wow, all these niggas is over there. You feel me?
Yeah. I was at Polo Grounds at J Records with Clive Davis. You know what I'm saying? So 745
at Sony with Clive Davis.
Yeah, 745 Fifth Avenue. I was there in 07 working at Polo Grounds. Hurricane Chris was one of the artists. I seen a video that he did with Rec recently, and the brothers #woke. Shout out to the God, A.
Okay, we did it. That one's going on the balance sheet for next quarter.
I saw the energy.
You dig what I'm saying? I was in an elevator with the dude one time. I saw the energy. So the story, history of, you know, this individual and what he means, because remember, you're talking big, you're talking Arista Records, you're talking Clive Davis, you're talking Puff, you're talking about that whole wave, you're talking about Whitney, you're talking about, you know, all kind of things. And then even with Whitney's untimely demise and her questionable death, he's in that situation too. Here, his name comes up.
So you get LaFace out of that situation, you get L.A. Reid, right? And then the fucking commences. You know what I'm saying? So it's just this long history, it's this long trajectory of vampire bites. You know, these people that were trained on how to fuck other people because, right? LaFace was fucking TLC. It was they fucked you know, rape people. They fuck outcasts. They, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody that comes into contact with these people has been fucked in this industry. But once again, just like the issue with melanated people continuously was born into a fucking problem. So you obviously had to come here for a solution. Alright? You had to be born to be solution based. Why else would you be here? You was born to be a problem along with the fucking problem? No. You're coming with the upgraded information for solutions. It's the only reason that you're here for. So it's the same thing with the record industry. Why is nobody coming in there with the solution? But like we said, quietly the solution has already been provided with the deregulation of the music industry by way of the internet. Okay, and the people that understand that most have been able successfully to gain control and move the needle forward. You know what I'm saying? I think 21 Savage had, he had an internet run recently, but he got signed, or he signed up. Uzi Vert, did he sign up too? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so a lot of these young dudes who we might not be cognizant of their movement, these are people maybe that are able, based on their fan base, to say, yo, I could push a million units independently. Lil B had a wave.
Yeah, Lil Yachty, Yahtzee.
Yeah. I mean, that whole Coach K, Coach K wave out of Atlanta, Quality Control. He's the brother behind the scene pulling the strings. So he got Quavo and the Migos. He got Yachty. He goes all the way back to Jeezy and Gucci. You feel me? So the youth that are coming up, they're seeing examples of independent, people who could get very wealthy off of the internet, very wealthy off of just not even being with a label, very wealthy off of direct to market and branding themselves and becoming iconic without the help of some greasy ass Neanderthals or some slimy ass, mobsters with their hands in their pockets and their thumb in their butts. You dig what I'm saying? They don't even have to be around that. So they'll be able to carry themselves and they'll be able to move in a certain kind of way. And, they don't feel conflicted and they're not in this sunken place that we see so many of our brothers and sisters who we know are very talented. We love them for their talent. But there's just something about them. There's something strange about Mary. You know what I mean? Like, these niggas are not the same. They're not doing logical things collectively that of people who are going through a certain time period that requires a certain level of action, a certain level of, hold on, oh, go ahead. Especially if they're concerned with the bag. The bag is in distribution. Facts. They know that by now. They're not outside of this conversation. My nigga, you know the bag is in distribution. Why has nobody clicked up together to figure out how to get the larger bag?
Right.
But settle just for the peanuts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got the zipper on the bag. You don't got the bag. Well, distribution with a streaming service that's your distribution to be able to stream now, right? Because it takes away, remember, it's bits versus atoms. So the atoms are the physical CD that a truck would have to ship to a Target or a Walmart or many of these other retailer outlets. Now you have the long tail, which represents the bits. That's iTunes, that's Amazon. Yeah, y'all need to go and get the book, The Long Tail. Chris Anderson. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This stuff was, the game been told a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? They prepared us for this. So, for a better perspective, especially if you're an artist, young brothers and sisters out there, if you're artists that already, you already got your foot in the game or you're trying to get into the game, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of books out there that can help open your eyes to this new industry and the new way that it's being played. The Long Tail is definitely a book that you must get, right? Yeah. Before I forget, April 15th in Jacksonville, Florida, we're going to be initiating, we have a whole weekend out there, right? Yeah. We're going to talk about the whole serial entrepreneurship aspect of, Yes, and we're going to be premiering our Know the Ledge app. The Know the Ledge app is in the iTunes stores right now as we speak. We should have opened up, letting the family know about that. I'm going to show y'all a demonstration of it off my phone. But yes, we're proud to announce that the app is definitely finished. For all of my contributors, all of the people who helped fund that project, salute to you. It's been a long time coming, but we are in the building, and it is a beautiful app. And even through this app,
now we're able to bring everybody underneath one roof. So now you have a storage of videos, a collection of videos, a collection of music, a collection of the stores and the different brands that we have.
That great archive of 7 years worth of radio shows.
So exactly, we have our Alexandria Library, our great archive of our Know the Ledge radio series, which is about 600 to 700 episodes deep. You'll be able to have that at a push button access right off of your phone now, right off of mobile. So boom, cut the middleman out. Going back to what I was saying, bits versus atoms. So now you might not be able to find out, you might not be able to catch up with us in the physical world, but you can catch up with us in the digital world. And it has revolutionized, the evolution will be digitized. That is the lecture that I did. We'll be doing an update to that in the near future. But it's showing you that this is a revolution that is taking place, because now you can take your whole brand, your whole legacy, your whole movement, your whole everything, merchandising, you know what I mean? Everything is now in your control personally, and I'm testifying as a testament to that, because I'm going through that right now in the now. Me and this man right here are living examples of living in the now and what it is to live in the now and what it affords and what is in front of us, because I'm telling you, this technology and what it affords us is a very well thought of solution to a lot of the problems that is stagnating a humongous majority or percentage of the people who look like me and you. Big time. But the others, and there's other people who don't look like me and you, who are utilizing this technology, this artificial intelligence, this code, you know what I mean? These mathematical equations that have been
brain wave
by engineers and scientists from all nationalities. It's not a white thing. They popping in Africa, popping. They popping in India, popping Dubai, popping. They popping in the Caribbean. So they're popping in Asia, major and minor. It's not about no white man thing, because we don't care about what they're doing. But they're popping in Silicon Valley. Yeah, they're popping. Okay? So we should find out what it is that we need to be getting into in these days and times in order to propel us. Not all of us, because it's not for everybody. This is different kind of cloth. Different kind of cloth. Different kind of cloth. You gotta be cut. Different kind of cloth. You know what I mean? You gotta have wearable technology cloth. You just have to be a different kind of. Yeah, the dudes who are able to create these worlds and all of the things that take place.
I don't want no lackers around me. If I'm able to maintain 5 companies and I'm in my 40s still coming out with cloth. You shit, like, you 20, my nigga, like, what your legs look like? You feel me? Like, you got any race in you? Are you keeping up? So, shout out to the creatives, because they be reaching out. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's some fucking geniuses out there. Man. And we owe it to them. Like, if nothing else, if I got an issue with the Birdmans and anybody's in the world and the people that want to own 40, 50, 60 cars, like, on some Jigger Man shit, do you have an investment fund that are looking for the talent in our communities? You know what I'm saying? To fund these startups? Because there's some geniuses out here, right? The people that are reaching out have fucking genius ideas, concepts, and products. You feel me? That they want to bring to the world. We have the $1 billion. We are trillionaires. We're billionaires and trillionaires. Easy. You know what I'm saying? From small scale investment. What Nas did with his money in terms of angel investment, we need to do that in the hood. We need to do that in our community. We need to do that amongst our creatives. Like, there's people out there that have the revolutionary ideas that will push the needle forward. You feel me? We just need a level of intent and focus where we can bring together, you know, initial few to get things popping. The next Uber is out there. They're looking at us right now. You feel me? The next Airbnb is out there. They're looking at us right now. So we just got to connect these dots. And with this technology, it's making it even more possible.
Before we close out, brothers, I want to talk about this album. I want to talk about good music.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I want to talk about classic music. I want to talk about, you know, sometimes ignorant music. Sometimes an artist could say some ignorant shit, but he said it so genius, eloquently. That is, you can appreciate it. You can appreciate the shit. Yeah, you could. Talk to me. Not to say that Rick Ross album is ignorant, but even BMF. Let me say BMF. Regular person with knowledge of self would say, why, you know, he's big up in Big Meech, a drug dealer. He's talking about selling drugs. That was a classic song right there. That song right there, it made me feel like I was God when I heard it. I think of Big Meech, Larry Hoover.
I got an interview with Meech in the vault. Meech is one of the most intelligent brothers I ever met. You know what I'm saying? He was very cognizant of his role as a melanated man with in a leadership position and the ability to continue what Tupac was talking about with Thug Life in regards to unifying heads of state. I will say that. So with Hoover, Willies that was in different states, they were controlling whatever the dynamic of that state was. This brother was able to bring them under one banner and somewhat, you know, influence them. The violence wasn't necessarily the way. If we can unify as a strong force, we won't have to utilize violence. You know what I'm saying? You doing what you're doing already. You're already doing that. But let me show you how to turn that into power once we unify and move as a force. So Meech's appeal, because I was in Atlanta and I was in Miami and I saw it, and people who we grew up with, they were part of BMF as well. The appeal that Meech had is the appeal that Baby copied. Let's also keep that in mind, because they came to Miami right after Meech and them came out there and woke that city up with the demonstration that he put forth. Hold on. There would be no Rick Ross. There would be no Rick Ross, because Rick Ross he witnessed that. He was right there in the crowd with all of us. I think he was going by Teflon back then. But that era that they ushered in transformed, Yeah, rapping like Big. That's what Teflon was rapping like, who's Rick Ross. So when Meech and them coming to Miami, what he's showing is what Baby is trying to portray to the world. Because keep in mind, family, what we're talking about is when he drops this song and he exposes the big homie for who he is, he retroactively has to challenge your perception or what your narrative is, what they represented, that you was modeled your whole life behind. Whether you know it or not, Lil Wayne is iconic in a sense of who he represents to the generation of his age category and everybody behind him. He is a pillar in this story. And remember we talked about the aesthetic nihilism that he represents, because he's the one who goes ahead and ushers in this anti-life, this rock and roll mentality, this rock and roll persona. Like Chuck Berry. Shout out to Chuck Berry. You understand? He picks up and he doesn't do white rock and roll. He picks up and he try to resurrect what Chuck Berry and them may have represented, which is an interpretation of rock and roll similar to what Hendrix represents, or what he signifies. Not like, you know, shout out to Future Hendrix. Shout out to Future Hendrix. You know what I'm saying? So Lil Wayne comes, he introduces the body tats. Niggas were not getting body tats before Lil Wayne. They were not getting face tats. We were working for Mike Tyson. He was seen as a weirdo. Niggas backed up off of the guard. You understand? Because of his face tat. They treated him like he had a mental disorder. Oh, this nigga done lost his mind. Like he lost it. He's breaking down. He's losing it. Nigga got a face tat. He got a face tat. Yeah. What the fuck is going on? We got him in a sunken place finally. In a sunken place with a fucking face tat, family. That's how they was treated. They saw the crack in the armor. The crack in the armor was the face. Oh, this nigga done lost it. They done lost it. That's why I put that in the song. The lashes. Tyson.
when they saw that, that's when niggas start. They remember Tyson is a Hercules. He's a Heru figure for 80s niggas. I don't know about you people afterwards that y'all rolling with Tyson McGregor. I mean Mayweather McGregor and other people. Dana White, you niggas is all Hulk Hogan's back. We come from the Tyson era, okay? Before the bite. We come from the Tyson. We come from the, you know what I'm saying?
90 seconds.
Balrog, my nigga, he's Balrog from Street Fighter. Like, we come from Tyson Knockout. This shit, you know what I mean? 54 hand skills and all of that. Like, he was a god. So, like Nas said, when they put the god in handcuffs, that shit fuck with the psyche of the warriors of a certain archetype, a certain kind of messianic, a certain kind of gene pool, a certain pedigree of black man. The dinosaurs is what they call them. They start dropping like flies. Because they know about when they take down your icons, what it does to the herd, or what it does to the rest of the people, the same way that they understand the connection between wildlife or the animal kingdom and your kingdom. And they go out and they do hunting. They got the hunt. I was on a plane watching a documentary about the rhinos and the rhino horns, which is more valuable on the market than cocaine, gold, diamonds, and melanin. Rhino horns. And it's about 100 rhinos left. They went on a super duper killing spree, and they won't disclose. They're saying aphrodisiac and something else. They won't disclose what exactly the rhino tusks were. You know what I mean? Being utilized, but from '96 and on, it tripled and quadrupled. Black elephants, black bears, black everything, and you see them get out with their shit. You understand what I'm saying? They understand that we're connected through the totems and other things, right? That's why there's so many hunters, and Trump is eliminating all of the agencies that will protect wildlife. That have all of. He's like, I don't even want to repeal that bill. I'll just take the agency. I'm gonna squeeze them out. I'm gonna defund them. You understand? But not knowing that we live in this age of the entrepreneurs, where the startups are the new agencies, because it's not the big buildings anymore. It's an app or things of that nature. You know what I mean? Or it's an incubator or an accelerator. People living in a house. Some of these billion-dollar companies like Snapchat, there's only 20 of them. Maybe 2.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels?
Snapchat, there's only 20 of them. Maybe 200. Starts out small numbers, 5. You know what I mean? So we're not living in that age anymore. He's a disruptor. He's bringing forth a disruptor age. This is a sign of the times. It's nothing wrong with that. That is supposed to happen. That's you have to be able to upgrade the system. My nigga, cars are about to fucking drive you to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? To Starbucks. Okay, I went in McDonald's to use the ATM. There wasn't no cashiers in here. In the city, it was all automated, all AI, with an old white lady wipes the people and wipe me down. But that was it. It was all computerized. Niggas is getting a Big Mac from AI. He knows the secret sauce, and we still don't know what it is. But this is where we going. So don't become alarmed and y'all fall into this fracas about what he's doing with the budget and all of that. No, create your own budget. The new we showed you, crowdfunding is the key. Equity crowdfunding being the major key. Where you can equity crowdfund and have interest or equity in different businesses that your own people own who do business amongst your network or your industry. It doesn't matter. It's so many niches. Going back to the long tail, there's so many niches that you can have all of these different cliques. You niggas belong to all of the cliques. You niggas were at the Atlanta orgy or Facebook private group. You belong to the Imhotep has returned. Facebook group is 500,000 of them. You guys belong to the Nuwabians. You understand? Yeah, Nuwabian Free Prince York page. You have all of these other different groups. You know what I'm saying? Some of these personalities, these niggas got 10 groups. each day in the fucking in the skip year, in the leap year.
All 5, 6 different Umar names.
Each alien's got a fucking group. So y'all could come together instead of sending dick pics and everything to everybody. You could just start making money together in these groups. You can monetize and commodify these groups. There are ways to do it.
Shout out to my dude, the Dark Lord.
Oh, shout out to Royal Bloodline, Brother Terrain, legend. Okay, you know. So we live in a time, in an age where men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Facts. Okay, Facts Initiative is in the building.
More life, you see it. I ain't even gonna get into the narrative. Goddamn. I ain't even gonna talk about it no more.
We ain't talking more death. We talking more life. Let me finish this baby thing real quick. I'm getting off course. So the baby thing, because Lil Wayne and who Lil Wayne represents, he is a progenitor to a generation. He's the progenitor to junkie rap. He's the progenitor to mumble rap. He's the progenitor to the trap rap shit that you see right now. But Rick Ross also besides him. Because remember, Meech comes in. Meech rewrites the code. Meech is showing niggas what it really means to take care of your dog. Meech is really showing you what it means to be independent and to get it in without the white man hand in your pocket. I'm not co-signing what was being done, drug dealing and other things of that nature. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just giving you a breakdown of the movie.
I'm talking about the social setting that takes place after the drugs get sold.
Facts. I'm giving you the breakdown of the movie because it's going to be a series anyway. It's just a movie. The rappers are influenced by the movement. They they change their personas to rap to mimic the persona that Big Meech put forth with that wave. Jeezy is along with the ride. He's the hottest dude at that point. He's that guy. But Meech and them niggas are urban legends. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da-da-da. Go to our mixtape, twinpillars.bandcamp, and just put Big Meech KTL on the second mixtape. Because shout out to everybody that supports Scorpion King. But go and check the other 2 mixtapes that we got out on there. That's from many, many moons ago. But Big Meech has an intro on one of those on the second mixtape. A listener of Know the Ledge behind the wall where people got their phones and stuff and access to what's going on in the world. And they are keeping up with everything that is being done in the community, in the hip-hop industry, in the streets and other places, but they know who the teachers are, they know what's being said, they know who the fuck boys are, they know who the fuck boys are not. They know who the cornballs are, they know who the scholars are, they know who the legends are. They're aware of it. This is coming from Natural Tahuti, who I spoke to, who's behind the wall, representing for our brothers and sisters in purgatory, buried in a shallow grave, in a sunken place. Real life sunken place. Where a letter can help pull them out of that sunken place. A package, maybe if you send them some tourmaline or crystal or something, could pull people out of these sunken places. Let's start sending people pictures. We take all of these selfies. Let's start sending our brothers behind the walls some pictures of the goddesses. You know what I mean? Of the communities, of the gods, and show them that there's hope when they come home, and then give them the information that they need to reprogram them, to deprogram them, and to get them into a certain kind of mind state, to be bosses, to be shot callers, to be the kind of stand-up individuals and warriors that we need at this time when we find ourselves in multiple wars. It's all kind of wars taking place, my nigga. Okay? It's spiritual warfare taking place. It's economic warfare taking place. It's all kind of physical warfare taking place. It's soft war, low intensity war, chemical war, biological war. Shout out to Wesley Muhammad for breaking it down expertly. He's on a crusade. He's campaigning. He's showing you the feminization of the black male.
Bugatti West, we see you.
Yeah, we see you working. You know what I'm saying? The effeminization of the black community through marijuana and other chemicals, and the excessive use of alcohol, and he's scientifically breaking it down and showing you, being very meticulous with the information and combing through it with a fine comb, with a Fard Muhammad comb.
Exactly. And the burden of disproof is on you, because he already laid the cards on the table. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't feel what he's saying is right, you gotta bring your information forth. That's a debate I'll be willing to sit into any day.
So tons and tons and tons and tons of our people have been put into slavery, 13th Amendment slavery, based off of the music that these three individuals that I just brought up that we're talking about tonight represent, based off of the run that they had and what they have been portraying in their music. If people were not alchemists and they took every word verbatim, if you listen to everything that Ross said, verbatim, for the last, since Port of Miami up until this album, you may find yourself on probation or in the motherfucking sunken place on some Kylie Broder shit in the Bing. And everybody needs to go watch that documentary, Time, Kylie Broder story. I myself can relate to that story in so many ways because I remember going through C-74 as an adolescent in that crazy ass building on Rikers Island, and they subjected us to all kind of fucking trauma by the shit that we were seeing and the things that were going and the violence that was taking place and the crookedness of those police officers who had gladiator schools and all kind of stuff taking place. And you see that in that documentary, because what we have to identify with is the fact that we are abandoning some of our brothers and sisters into this system that we can clearly see is taking their life from them, is taking their souls from them, is putting them in a sunken place. And we can't stand by because the suffering is becoming so much. And niggas is trying to carry on their everyday life and wondering why nothing is being, no fucking W's is being,
No manifestation.
No manifestation is taking place in the way that it's taking, that it should be taken. Nah, that charge ain't holding, like you said.
That charge ain't holding, my nigga. Your blackness is not intact. Your charge is not holding. You got motherfucking lactose in your
So to see Rick Ross becoming conscious, waking up, signifying what I know is street consciousness, talking like a boss, because I don't need to hear him give a lecture on the biochemical, you know what I'm saying, makeup of the black woman, because she's God. Rick Ross represents a dark energy, a dark force, like you were talking about a little bit earlier. We could get into this talk. This energy and this force is something that feeds people who need that energy to feed off of. Because of, because who the fuck they are. They need that fire. You know what I mean? Like the other day when we all saw that Remy Ma, they need that work. When we saw Remy Ma put in that work, I don't care how vegan you niggas was. You was looking at that body. You was watching that slaughter take place, okay? So, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? We show up for the shits. Okay?
Shit, we there.
And
front row, like
certain individuals or certain artists represent a certain kind of frequency, a certain kind of tone. Shout out to my brother Berto. We about to do something with him in VA with the brother Polite. You know what I mean? And it's dealing with frequencies and tones, and it's dealing with the basics of what this music and what this, what it's representing and the spell that it's beginning to cast on the ordinary brothers and sisters out there, because we gotta reach them. We have to learn how to put this information in a capsule or a pill and deliver it to our people so they can pop that shit the same way that they popping them Xannies. Is killing people right now as we speak. They got counterfeit Xanny in the streets. They got counterfeit heroin in the streets. They got all of these Europeans.
That K2 as well.
Woo, that K2 cooking these niggas.
Episode on that, bro. Got to address this shit.
K2 cooking them.
Yeah.
So Rick Ross is beginning to wake up. Rick Ross is beginning to come into the realization of what is taking place in the position that he holds as a shot caller, as a green lighter, as a boss. The kind of boss that we can get along with. You know what I mean? The kind of boss that we can relate to. So in his music, if you understand what you're hearing, he's telling people certain things that need to be said at this point.
He had a very political undertone in his music, and he had it since Black Market and Black Dollar. And, the last two projects, you know what I'm saying? I've been hearing
T.I.
seep through.
has come forward with his politically motivated, socially conscious bars.
We've seen Jeezy's proclivity to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The consciousness exists in the individuals. You know, what's bringing it forward is another thing. You know what I'm saying? How long they're able to hold the charge is another thing. Snoop Dogg, it's there.
It's there.
It's there.
Zion, what is?
It's not properly being whipped and worked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's on us as a quote-unquote community, or if that's on them to dig deeper, or the overall society to create a space where that conversation can take place, and there could be a continuum. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there needs to be a space created in the media. You know what I mean? Maybe there needs to be an Arsenio show type, you know, couch entertainment type of situation. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a clever approach to this to bring these conversations to a larger audience. You feel me? In a way in which it needs to be done. You know, Jordan Peele has initiated, you know what I'm saying, the onset of clever demonstrations.
Keep in mind,
You
for
know
the
what I'm
record, they're identifying that movie as Afrofuturism. Yeah. And they didn't bring up Afro-surrealism, but I feel that I think that it falls under that category as well. He's giving birth, or he paved the way, and he created a blueprint to all of the creators that are out there, the 10 million of them, who have been waiting for a demonstration because
when I used to sit in on Bobby lectures, and all the time I used to come out and be like, yo, who the fuck is the script writers? Like, I just heard mad scripts. Like, there's mad ways we could cook this information into an engaging script to disseminate the information without, you know what I mean, necessarily shoveling it down somebody's throat.
remember, this book, the ISIS paper, required reading for everybody who is entering into the realm of consciousness while on the path of enlightenment.
Number one on your book list.
Number
right
one.
Here. Get that.
These days and times, in this Trump era, this book, this is an easier read nowadays than it was 20 years ago.
I'm going to jump out the window with it, and I'm going to recruit Rich unknowingly, unbeknownst to Rich. If there's a sister out there with a sultry voice, we need you to holler at us so you could do the audiobook version. Because we don't want to leave it up to people to read anymore. If that's not their thing, they might want to stream the book. You know what I'm saying? That era has to be initiated, and that door has to be kicked in. If you wholesale on my idea, goddamn it, give me my credit. Because this shit is archaic. Okay? So, well, holler at us. If you're willing to do the audio version of this book, even if you just want to do some excerpts where the family can be in the silence of their home, or they can be on a train, or they can be going here, or they can be going there, and they can listen. And this book is so incredible that you're going to be listening and looking at shit and seeing shit unfold while you listening. You feel me? That's the magic in this book. It's a living testament. So, I say to the Queen Mother, indeed. So, you know,
yeah, going back just to wrap up the whole Ross Birdman thing, you know, by having the entertainers who have influence over the minds and the hearts of millions of people, you know what I mean, the youth, more importantly, and the people that are living out their third childhood, you know what I mean, we still refer to them as the youth as well, you know, and to see their heroes or the artists who they follow word for word to begin to mature, that's a good sign in a good direction. You know what I mean? It's not the end all be all. It's not, you know, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, give them an African name and everything, and you know what I mean, go and buy the albums. No, we're saying that if this is what you listen to, if this is what you went to, like I know that a whole bunch of people who listen to this, they rock with that. We're just building on what it is and what it means. You know what I'm saying? But the importance of the moral of this, because the overall conversation is going to take place in the community. Chatty Patties and everyone else is going to talk about the fact that Rick Ross didn't put respect on Birdman's name. But very rarely are they going to talk about the actual conversation around what was being said, which is contractual rape, which is the fact that, you know what I'm saying,
we have yet, as quote unquote brothers, or these people of power, you know what I'm saying? Or hustlers, you know what I'm saying? When another person becomes that in which you hustle, which is not far-fetched from somebody that's coming from street life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about the mindset of individuals that are upstanding to a degree where they're like, look, you know, I see the equity in you, my good brother. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Unless that's your team.
This is what I'm saying. For an industry that is being built by a Clive Davis and a Rick Rubin and people of that nature, they would want to do business with gangsters from the streets, from the underworld or the street life, because of the code that these people are already sacrificing people. Okay? These people are already kill to eat.
Yeah.
So they understand that stink talk. They have that mentality to sell somebody out in order to get by or to get on. They're willing to do what it takes. If I gotta cook you on a goddamn Barbie, well, consider yourself cooked. So they're able to relate to that world. But what we're beginning to see is that they always come up with an empty hand or a losing hand the majority of the time, because the people, the house is the ones dealing the card. You understand? They rarely do lose because they're the ones that are they wrote up the goddamn rules of the contract, and they're the ones who are behind the actual the raping that's taking place on the highest level. So it's just level of pimpery taking place. We're just seeing levels of pimpery. You know, procession of piping. The procession of piping. And don't find yourself at the bottom. That's the bottom, bitch. Okay? You don't want to be at the bottom. So, you know, keep in mind, and this is a rumor, it was rumored that he went ahead and paid a gunman who was Young Thug's business manager or something to shoot up the tour bus. Keep that in mind, that there was an attempt on the young man's life. That's how far it got. And this is indicative of the industry. These are the links that they are willing to go to collect or to not pay out. You dig what I'm saying? Or to not face the, the lawsuits or the oncoming lawsuits or the public, scrutiny and things of that nature that some of the artists are willing to.
Blowing my spot.
Blowing my spot up, man. Look at you, man.
Yep. That's not cool.
We should be back on now.
Yeah.
Close it up for the family.
Alright. So again, peace family. More importantly, this is for the youngsters in the audience. Because the artist that we're talking about, this is just not a Birdman dynamic. Birdman is the owner and operator of Cash Money Records, which is the home to Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Drake, arguably 3 of the biggest artists in the world. So any upcoming artist by proxy is gonna want to say, look, shit, if I ever wanted to get on, you know what I'm saying? That's like in our era, they would want to get signed to Bad Boy, even though they knew that the raping was taking place, even though that you could see all of the chaos coming out of there. People was always willing to step over those bodies and be like, I'm the exception, I'm Neo, I can dodge those bullets. So there's millions of youngsters out there that's looking, that's like, look, man, if I gotta sign up to any record label, the ideal one that I would go to would be Cash Money. I'm willing to sell my soul for that, whether they saying that directly or not. And there's subconscious shit they might be saying it like, oh, fuck it, better than this shit. You know what I'm saying? No, you have to be cognizant of what's taking place here. There's a perpetual cycle. If it happens to your favorite artist, 9 out of 10 chances are it might happen to you as well. But on the flip side of that, you know what I'm saying? Because that might be the easy way to go. And that shit might lead to purgatory. But if you put in a little bit more work and you walk a road that's just a little bit more difficult, then you might be the next Chance the Rapper. And that's the model of the future. This other shit is dying out. You know what I'm saying? Rick Ross is on his 9th album and he's still on the label. He should know that at this point. So it's obviously something that these artists don't want to do for themselves. Irregardless of all the fantastic hotels that they're telling you, they're flying it in from Pablo, they're getting it from El Chapo. They can get birds across the border, but They can get mega weight, but they can't move albums throughout this country. That's the issue. You feel me? That's the issue. So there's a new model of artist that has emerged, you know what I'm saying, that's come out of the mud of that shit. Forces that's come out of the manure of that shit. There's a new bud that has grown. And it's the independent artist that's able to utilize niche markets. Again, Chris Anderson, The Long Tail, make sure that you get it. They're able to capitalize on niche markets, all right? And utilize a fan base of anywhere from 100 to 1,000 people to get their shit initially jump started. You know what I'm saying? Where they can eventually break the pool. Some of them, you may have a chance to break the pool of 1 million. The little Yachties of the world and the little Uzi Verts. Can't even say this nigga's name. Yeah. They were able to do that on the intranet. The intranet affords you that opportunity. It's free enterprise at this particular point. If you got the sauce, get the cooking. Alright? Just make sure that your recipe, if you can avoid it, does not include one of these dying record labels. It will take your fucking soul along with them to the purgatory. Okay? Blue Pillar 44 on Instagram, apparelnormal.com for that good cloth. Francis Crest Wilson link, the legend, will be available tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot more coming. ShastaMedicine.com. The retreat is jumping off March 23rd to the 28th. And then we got another one on April 20th, 421. It's going to be crazy. We're going to be there. I think Rich is coming out as well. I'm a plan to be in the building. So ShastaMedicine.com. Sign up for that. We got an episode about to drop, hopefully tonight or tomorrow or something. Right?
Yeah. Stay tuned in a couple hours for that. Shasta Medicine.
Thursday, family, in Atlanta in the ATL, March 23rd, 6 to 9 p.m. I'm going to be in the building with my brother Q Butter, my sister Sapphire. There's going to be the Black Empowerment Conference. It's going to kick off that day. This is a 3-day conference that's taking place March 23rd to the 25th. Brother Sutek, Eric Shepard, Empress Sekhmet, John Adon is one of the hosts. Sinetta has something. He's going to be there as well. The Black Empowerment Conference. This is our brother Q Butter, who is a young entrepreneur from BK, from Brownsville, who, yeah, we rock with the brother. We do work with him. He's out there fixing credit. He has his homeschooling. That's the 2 youth that you saw in Made for This. That's his 2 seeds, his star seeds. So shout out to that brother. And then that's going to be at the Hunger Mission, 9 Gammon Ave, Atlanta, 30315. That's the 24th, 5 p.m. until, and the 23rd, 6 to 9 at the Hunger Coalitions. All right. And then on Saturday, March 25th, in Waterbury, Connecticut, Fear of a Black and More Messiah Part 4, Brother Red Pill at the 34 Hopkins Street, Waterbury, Connecticut, hosted by my brother Henry Onk. Shout out to my brother. All right, we're going to be in the building. And then April 15th, we're going to be in Jacksonville doing the Facts Initiative in Jacksonville at the Event Planning Center, 6591 Arlington Expressway, Suite 269. All right, that's April. Yeah, me and Blue. April 15th, Saturday, we're gonna be in the building. And the Miami date, I'll be updating y'all about that as well. Love and light to the family. Thank y'all for staying up late with us and building with the dogs.
Y'all are legends.
Yeah, y'all are definitely legends.
Like I was saying, truth is the truth, people. It's time to start telling the truth and living for the truth. Because the only thing that'll set you free. And the only free way you can get changed at, or make change at, that's what LovE free at. And that's in your heart that goes along with the heartbeat. That beat beats 2 beats per second to let you know that's the power source that you filter everything that is real, that you feel, to know. Once it's filtered through the heart, which is your first and only start, when you look at coming from heaven to hell, inside the womb, which is heaven, before coming here, which is hell, you were lied to. Your first day out of heaven to this hell, you were lied to. And you were told it's your birthday, when really you were just born. I am glad waiting for some truth. When you look at all the different vibration that goes on in this world, and then you look at the low frequency music, our voice is the greatest gift of communication from the original creator love. And we all have a different voice pattern that makes us different, because mentally and physically we're all different, but we all have a heart that pumps blood. Some hearts bigger than others, but at one time or another your heart had love. But until you realize that the love that's in your heart will not control you, but the love inside your heart loves you unconditionally, through and through, forgives you life, gives you free will, gives you choices. If you sit and think about where we at in this world today, where the woman is put in the back instead on top of the pedestal where she belongs at. A man is trying to be put on a pedestal as a woman, when any man gets any credit for being a woman and he's a man. If you a man and you got a dick and you dress up like a woman, ain't no fucking way possible that you can beat out a woman and looking beautiful. That's some twisted up bullshit to go with this bullshit that's twisted up for a agenda that you would think it was the racist white supremacist agenda, but that was just the sugar on top of the real shit that they've been covering up that's underneath of this sugar-coated shit. Now we're gonna scratch the sugar off the shit so you can see what's underneath, what the big old secret really is, but it's out now. It's not the racist white supremacist agenda, it's the racist mafia gay agenda. And the whole agenda is to change the way that Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the mother that gives the perfect birth, and that's the conscious thinking woman living here, consciously thinking, knowing the truth is she is the only creator here on earth, and the heaven is in her work. Now, where do you get this our Father who was in heaven bullshit from? You get that bullshit from this racist, gay, mafia's agenda of the correct way love brings life into this world. The love of Mother Nature gives us everything that comes from the earth for us to eat and drink. Everything else is man-made up bullshit. Because as long as you thinking to be stupid and stuck on stupid and don't want to be straight because you know that straight gonna show that you've been stupid for a long time and you just don't want to see yourself in the mirror looking like that. But I tell you from the creator of all of us, what is being told to tell you is this. The truth is the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts, but no pain, no gain when you put in the work to know what the truth really is. So let go of the lies now that you know it's a lie. How can it ever work? You already know that it's a lie. So you tell me, why do you go to church when you know that that's a whole big old bowl of bullshit? God is man-made up bullshit, just as well as our Father who art in heaven putting the man as the creator of this. When the creator is neither man nor woman, black nor white. Let me give you a little something for yourself to know the truth is in thyself. So you don't just get it right. You're going to get it straight to there's four rights, there's left, and there's backwards. I'm talking straight to your heart, not to your ass, because I know that one. I know the heart. But you've been taught to think out this asshole. So that's why I'm going to talk to that one. I'm talking straight to your heart. Feel your chest before we go. And ask yourself the question. Where is your heart beating? Inside you or outside? Now I'll go to why are you praying to some entity outside of you when the creator is in you? Being the creator of you. Being the creativity in you. For you to be a creator too. Being the greatest creation of all. After all that the creator went through in order to be in you and not something else that was created to do what you do. And that's consciously think about anything that could possibly be a problem when we come together. The man and the woman literally come together, but anybody else working together to solve the problem. It shouldn't always be sex, because when you look at the creator's original name being love, before it was changed to God, you can look at saying the name in vain. Look how easy call out the name God while having sex. But only name you can say in vain is if you were to say to someone and say the name and tell them you love them and not feel the same. That could change the whole world. So love is the only name that you can tell somebody and not feel the same and it be said in vain that can fuck somebody up all the same, because love has to be said when it's the truth. Because to say you love somebody and you don't, when they find out you fucked up, they through. I'm just saying, people, y'all just turned to create the original name love making into this plain old fucking having sex. I'm just blessed. Truth is truth. Period. Fuck the bullshit.